Everything from overlanding in your stock rig to full-on LS-powered 2 buggies on stickies. This is the Total Off-Road Podcast. I'm your host, Steve.
And I'm Ian, and we are here for episode number 46 today.
Holy shit.
I was writing 46 down on the note sheet, and I'm like, this is a stupid number.
It's a lot.
That's not what I meant by stupid. I'm just like, lucky number 7, or like...
The luckies are out the window at this
10,
point.
you know, like 46. What? That's a stupid number.
Lucky number 46.
Yeah. Woo-hoo.
That's awesome.
Yeah. It's pretty dope.
Look how close we are. This is episode 46.
Yep.
Like, that's not very many from 52.
Oh, you want to get to 52?
I'm just saying.
1 year?
Like, that's like, we're knocking on that.
It's been a long year.
Has it?
I feel like it has.
It's been a good year. Your shit went wheeling.
Yeah. I mean, I could generally say it's been a good year.
Yeah.
It's been a lot of other shit to deal with, but, you know, it only took a global pandemic for my shit to get on a trail, but what do you do?
It's not bad. How would it have gone if there wasn't a global pandemic? Do you think that it would have gone slower or faster?
I would have went, I don't know.
What do you think? Because you didn't stop working.
No.
So, like, it's not like you had extra time on your hands.
Nope.
With the exception of maybe not going out and doing things, which do you really go out and do that much shit anyway?
Not a lot.
I feel like the pandemic may have
it really didn't
slowed you down.
It didn't do much for me.
I think it slowed you down because it was harder for you to get parts.
Yeah, that was a fact.
You know what I'm saying? Like, some of the stuff was harder for you to get a hold of.
Yep.
But
shipping.
All in all, I mean, I think for the most part,
I'm biased because like this pandemic didn't, I mean, I don't want to say it didn't affect me, but like it really didn't affect me much because we didn't slow down. We were busier than we probably have ever been this year. Which is great. I mean, like, I'm not complaining about it or anything, but like, it's so hard for me when I go to work, come home, go to work, come home, go to work, come home. And then it's like, what virus, because you're not going anywhere,
right?
You're not doing anything. Nobody's asking you to go anywhere because nobody's going anywhere. And you go to, like, I don't know, the grocery store or something like once a month. And you're like,
right.
What? I have to wear a mask? Like, huh? And it's just, you forget the outside world is going through what it's going through, and it's wild.
Yeah, it really is. And like, because if you don't see anybody or interact with anybody that's actually affected by it, like, you just don't realize it's going on.
Yep. And not being out in the field this year definitely gave me that, like, closed
you
perspective.
Wouldn't have known. Yeah, right. So like, if you'd been out in the field, maybe you would have noticed it more.
Yep.
But being that you're in a shop all day with the same people,
yep,
you know, you're not wearing a mask typically to go to your shop with two other people.
We'd do some cleaning and stuff around the shop more so than we normally would with that. And I mean, I don't know. But enough about that. Now to the off-road stuff.
To the off-roady thingies. What'd you do?
So I ordered some spark plugs and some wires. I've done a compression test. I think we've talked about that. Done a compression test. Compression's fine. It's like an 8% difference from low to the high. So cool. So I cleared all the codes out. So I took my fancy new Matco scan tool and I plugged into it tonight.
Fancy. Okay, tonight. Well, yeah, because you just got it today.
Just got it today.
Yep.
Plugged into it tonight. Cleared everything out and started it up. And I went, okay. Sitting there idling. No misfires, no codes, nothing. Running pretty good. So I'm going through watching all the live streaming data. O2 sensors, mass airflow sensor stuff. Pretty much checking any kind of input voltage that would have anything to do with a misfire. And so I'm going through, I turn the fan, I don't turn the fans on. I'm just going to let it get hot because I'm like, clearly my problem relates to getting hot. So I left the fans off, monitoring the engine temp on the gauge and in the scan tool to make sure it's accurate. So I let it get up to, I think it was around 240. It was right at 240. Yeah.
It got hot.
Well, that's where I was running it that weekend. Right. So I was like, I'm going to get it toasty.
You left the fan off to do that?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I was sitting there holding it about 2,500 RPMs in the driveway. Took a little while. Watching everything along the way. No misfires. Get up to 240 and I was like, that's about my comfort level for heat. So I kicked fans on. and it maintained. It went up to about 242 or so, and then dropped back down to around 238, 240. And it wasn't gaining on it. It wasn't getting hotter, but it wasn't getting cooler. It was just maintaining. And I'm like, all right, well, that pretty much solidifies my fan problem. My fan is like just enough.
Mm-hmm.
Because like it doesn't cool it, but it doesn't get any hotter. But that's also sitting there at just holding the engine at 2,500 no load. So obviously when you are doing off-road things, it's going to be a little bit different.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So my goal was to see what the temp does with the fans and without the fans. So it clearly tells me that the fan is not enough.
Right.
Cool. Checkbox. Then I keep going up to turn the fan back off and get it up to like 250. And I'm like, still no misfire. I'd sit there and like let off of it. Throttle response was good. I mean, I don't know what. There isn't like a limp mode from what I've gathered with this test.
Okay.
Based on temperature.
I didn't think it was in a limp mode.
Like, well, that's what I mean.
You think it was in limp mode?
Well, there was a couple people who said like maybe that does some weird tuning stuff or something. And I'm like, I don't think it does.
If you listen to all the videos of you trying to do things, it was spark knocking like a son of a bitch.
Mm-hmm.
Like it was probably trying to pull timing as much as possible because it was nonstop spark knocking. So the engine's like, what the fuck? So it probably turned your timing way down.
Yep.
So then that pulls your power. And then on top of that, obviously you're not getting proper detonation. It's pre-detting. So you're not getting full power out of that.
That's what I just
think altogether being hot, pre-det, and not being able to pull enough timing. The engine probably pulled every bit of timing that it possibly could to try to make it not detonate, and it was still deading. So
that's what my thought is.
That's my guess. Unless the tune for some reason doesn't allow it to pull timing, or maybe it only allows it to pull timing so far.
Yeah. I mean, there's got to be a limit somewhere that the computer can do.
Yeah, I assume it can only pull it so far.
So that's what I wanted to check with this to make sure like, if it hit a certain temp, it would like
start doing things,
putter out.
Yeah.
So,
or say like you hit the throttle and it only gives you 50%.
And I mean, I got it up to 250 and I popped her off at like 5,800 RPMs, nothing. And it pulls it right back down to like 650, 700 idle. No load on or anything, but I mean, it had a responsive, snappy throttle and no problems. So then I was like, well, I know I was pushing coolant, so let's see how hot it has to get to push coolant out the overflow. So I just let her sit there at 2,500 RPMs and get hot, and about 265 is when it pops off. There's big old of steam. So
that's hot.
That's freaking hot.
You're trying to mess that engine up.
Yeah. Well,
that got iron heads? Aluminum heads, iron blocks.
Yeah.
Okay.
I believe so.
Yeah.
So that tells me that my temps were at 265 when it was pumping coolant and probably around 230 to 240 the rest of the time. So but still pushing coolant out the overflow out of the radiator, no misfires, like zero. So, but in the meantime, I have not touched any wiring. I have unhooked the spark plug boots, removed the spark plugs, done my compression test, put the plugs back in the same hole, and hooked the wires back up. So that tells me that it's not going into a limp mode or any kind of pull anything due to heat. What I'm thinking is I either have shitty spark plugs, a shitty spark plug wire that makes bad and good contacts, because I had like 22 misfires on 2 cylinders.
Yeah.
Like 20 and 30 something, but it wasn't a same number. So it wasn't doing it the same 2 every time. So I have new plug wires. I have new plugs. I'm going to put all that in there and we're going to go. Here's something I want to ask you about because I do not know. Like I said, I did this earlier tonight, so I need to do some research on it. In one of the parameters of this thing that I can watch, torque converter lockup signal, it's set to no.
But does it have a lockup converter?
So
surely not in that 400.
It has a stock converter
in a turbo 400.
In a 400.
To the best of my knowledge, I don't believe they ever put a lockup converter in that transmission.
But that's
what I'm not expert.
Well, that's my knowledge, but it got me thinking. It's like, surely that's not signaling that it needs to pull any kind of, because it's tuned for a 4-speed automatic with no, speed signal or anything. So I was like, surely that's not screwing with something. But that's what I was kind of like, I don't know. So I'm going to do some research tomorrow and see what I come up with on that. Because I don't know. I just don't know.
I don't either.
I know enough to be dangerous and know that I need professional assistance. But I don't know. I'm pretty much ruled out any cause of like heat causing it to run like crap. So I'm just going to put plugs and wires on it and send it down the road. We're going to go wheeling. Right. It's going to get new gears though, because I'm done screwing around with 410s over it. So I'm going to put some 538s in it, and I'm actually going to put new spools. It's getting spooled front and rear instead of the welded carriers, why not? New bearings and 538s.
I like it.
Boom. And rear steer.
And rear steer.
But the rear steer's got to come when somebody donates like $5,000 to the party.
I'm not gonna lie, Ian. I'm out of it.
Yeah, because you're on your damn phone on TikTok screwing around with your phone. I'm over here talking. I might as well just turn and look at the wall and go, oh, look, the wall is talking back to you now.
So here's what you guys need to know. Obviously, you know that I play on TikTok already because I told you I have the Total Off-Road podcast. Well, I had this epiphany after talking to one of my friends that does polishing. Somebody's going to braid me for not talking about off-road shit.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you're over here on your phone, so you might as well tell the people what you're doing.
Anyway, I was told...
You're going to get called out on this so much.
Oh, God. It's still going crazy.
I'm just sitting over here in my crown and coat.
I've been trying to go viral on the Total Off-Road podcast one, and I just can't get it to catch traction. The posts just aren't hitting like they should be. Some hitting like 25,000. That's been pretty consistent. So like off-road stuff hits about 25,000 and caps out.
Is that good though?
It's not bad.
Like I don't TikTok, so I don't know if that's good or bad.
In TikTok world, no, you're not even scratching anybody.
That's what I mean.
Like you're bottom row, which is fine because that's where I'm at everywhere else. So I have been playing on TikTok pretty hard lately, trying to figure out the algorithm, trying to understand what gets traction.
That sounds like an excuse for not working. I'm going to try to figure out this computer algorithm.
Yeah. One of the things I figured out is that TikTok, the first video you upload goes straight to the For You page because they want you to get some stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So I uploaded a polished railroad spike video as my first one on my Summer Shine TikTok.
Okay. Jesus, man, you have multiple TikToks? I checked it.
Yeah.
Holy God.
I'll get to that in a little bit.
We don't need to get to that. We already know that's a problem.
Here's what I figured out. So I realized that the first video you post is the one that gets the most traction. So if that gets traction, you can jump up real fast by posting in succession with other videos and having those like ride on the coattails basically of that video that went viral.
Okay.
And so what I did was I made this polished railroad spikes. I'm like, hey, people like shiny shit. Maybe this will do it. I checked it like 12 hours later, had like 47 views. I'm like, well, that was the biggest flop ever. And I also posted 3 of those videos on the Total Off-Road podcast TikTok, which will still be off-road. If you like off-road, come follow me there. Some of you do.
Don't get on TikTok.
Or do yourself a favor, do not get on TikTok.
It becomes an issue.
I hadn't checked it since yesterday, like evening or whatever it was. I got back on. I was going to check it earlier today, and I didn't. Kind of glad I didn't because it would have been really distracting, as you can see. I just checked it a little bit ago and it's still blowing up. Like it's still
TikToking.
It's still TikToking. So when I just checked it a little bit ago, it was 600 and some thousand. And now I just refreshed it like 15 minutes later?
Yeah, probably.
It's over 700,000.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, the first video got 700,000 views.
Is that
and 136,000 likes. It's not bad. It's a really nice start to a following.
Okay.
And I went from 0 followers yesterday when I started this, yesterday morning, I think it was, or maybe the night before. I had 0 followers and I didn't follow anybody. I am now following 7 people because I did follow a couple of like artist people and I have 9,300 followers. That's not bad.
We need to monetize that.
I'm working on it.
Okay.
quick, one more thing before I get back to what we're doing here. The reason that I started a TikTok for polishing.
Another drink here in a second.
The reason I started a TikTok for polishing is because I don't exactly love what I do polishing. So if I can get a following on TikTok for polishing, then I can open an Etsy store and I can sell this polished shit. And when you have like, I don't know, a couple 100,000 people following you, your shit tends to be worth a couple more dollars. You know what I'm saying? So if I can sell shit on Etsy for a little more than what I would normally sell it for, that could make things a little more fun.
Okay.
Does that all make sense?
That's I don't know if that's a good business plan or not.
I don't know. The one I currently have doesn't work that great.
It seems like a lot of work.
So does doing 3 podcasts a week.
Yeah.
But here I am.
Here we are. Yeah, I just don't TikTok.
I get it. It's fine. I wanted to try something, social experiment, and there it is.
There you go.
And it did, even though I didn't think it did exactly what I thought it would do. And that is the first post got sucked into the For You page. It started gaining ground and it took off like, I would say like wildfire. It's not at 1 million yet, but then again, I don't know when it took off. Like I said, I checked it a few hours later and it was still at like 47 likes. So by the end of this podcast, it could be over 1 million. I have no idea.
We're going to check it at the end just
we are.
For curiosity.
Well, and I just posted another video because I was getting all the hate comments. If you're getting hated on, you're doing it right, right?
I don't know. It's on TikTok, so I don't know how much street cred TikTokers have.
I don't know.
I don't know.
Not enough.
It is 2020,
Not
bro.
enough validity for me to follow or to me to care. Like, you may be talking shit, but you're still following me.
On TikTok.
On TikTok.
So anyway. I thought they were banning TikTok.
Got bought out by a different company.
Oh, really?
Yeah. TikTok is the largest privately owned company, I believe, last time I checked, in the world. Privately owned by one person or entity. It's not traded publicly.
Yeah, it's not a publicly traded group.
Yeah. So, and it was like worth 75 billion, something like that.
Okay.
Worth a couple dollars.
Couple bucks.
If you get you a couple million followers on TikTok, you can really start doing things.
Okay. Well, you work on that.
Uh-huh. I'm trying.
I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm not going to do that. But you know,
I'm not going to do that.
Yeah, I was like, I'll do the other thing. Yeah, we'll check it at the end just to update those that love the TikToks. I had some exciting news this week.
Did you?
Just completely left turning back to off-road.
That's fine. We should get back to off-road.
What did you do? Did you
Nobody wants to hear my shit.
Did you do any off-road things this week?
I drove my Jeep.
Okay.
I drove it. I went to take a mouse out. We had a mouse in the house.
Okay.
Isn't that some shit?
You had to take it out for a ride? Or what? Like,
yeah.
You took the Jeep.
Okay. So here's how that went down. I do have Sunday, after we recorded the podcast Saturday night.
Uh-huh.
Sunday, I had some free time and I went out and I reset the anti-wrap bar.
Yep.
And pulled that pinion angle up quite a bit, probably 4 or 5 degrees upward. And went out and took it for a test drive. And the vibration was significantly less.
So that's your issue.
That's the issue. So it's a double cardan shaft and the pinion was almost level, like almost parallel with the output on the transfer case.
Yeah.
More than it was pointing at it. So there was that. And then so I'm sitting in the office editing the podcast and I look over and I like feel like I see a flash out of my eyes. I'm like, the fuck was that? What was that? Huh. Must have been the dog's tail. Like, you know, must have been the dog walking by and I just missed it. And I kind of like, so then I check back again and I see another flash and this time it's like in the room. And I'm like, what the fuck was that? And so I'm looking like, and it's just like this little shadow, like that I see for a split second. And so I can't make out what it is. And so I look again and now I'm kind of scanning the floor like, what in the hell? Am I losing my damn mind?
Yes. Too much TikTok.
And I look right and I look right next to me. The filing cabinet sits right next to the desk and that's where the printer sits on. Mm-hmm. And I looked at the bottom of the filing cabinet and there's a damn mouse about this big.
Okay.
Tiny.
For the reference, like 1.5 inches.
Yeah. Yeah. He was like maybe 2 inches long.
Little guy.
Tiny.
Little fella.
Little fella.
Okay.
And I'm like, the fuck are you doing? in my house.
Please leave. Please.
And so like I get up and he takes off and he shoots out back out of the room into the hallway where Cash is laying.
Yep.
And so Cash like jumps up like, the fuck are you doing? And starts chasing this thing around. And he was like just a hair too slow.
Uh-huh.
And this dude takes off and runs into our bedroom.
Nope.
And splits behind the clothes hamper and dresser.
I just burnt the house down.
And I'm like, huh. And I run in the bedroom like, get him, Cash, get him. And Jess is like sleeping and the baby's sleeping.
Yep.
And I'm in here like, get him. And Cash is just like going haywire.
Yep.
And she's like, what are you doing? I'm like, there's a mouse in the house. She's like, seriously? She's like, we're trying to sleep. I'm like, that's cool, but there's a mouse.
There's a rodent in
the house.
my house. I don't know how much more clear I need to be.
I didn't see where he went. I assume Cash kept looking underneath the dresser trying to find him. I was like, I'm not pulling the dresser away from the wall. I'm not getting down trying to shimmy this thing out while these two are trying to sleep. I've already woke the baby up. And so I go back to editing the podcast. I'll find it later. Not that big a deal. Small little guy. He's not hurting nobody.
Nope.
And I go back, edit the podcast, get done, pack all my things done, whatever. Come back into the bedroom. And I have now gone to the garage, got me a mouse trap, built me a little like cardboard box for the mouse trap so that the trap is inside of a containment so that the dog's not trying to eat the peanut butter.
Yep.
And then I put that down next to the dresser in line with where he would go if he was going to the bathroom.
Yep.
So I'm like, okay, cool. We got that all situated. We're going to go to bed. I no more than sit down on the bed and I hear it's in the bathroom. I'm like, huh.
Oh, hell.
So I go to the bathroom and I look in the bathroom, like, because the door was kind of cracked.
Yep.
And I look into the bathroom and I'm like scanning around. I don't see nothing. It sounds like he's by the sink. I felt like I'd seen some mouse turds on my sink the other day, but I was like, I don't know. I didn't really look at them that close. I just kind of like shoot them down the drain. And I was like, huh, wonder if those were what I think they were. Anyway, so I hear him and I'm like, where's he at? And I like open the door and the fucker's sitting on the ledge by the shower.
I'd have blown him away with a 12 gauge.
And so Cash, at this point, Cash is standing next to me. I was like, well, get the fucker. And I open the door up and send him in there. He goes in there. This thing bounces off the shower, takes off running. Cash catches it, paws it down. And that's it. Just sniffs it.
Huh.
At this point, he's just sniffing it and playing with it.
Bite its head off.
And so it's like squeaking and stuff. I'm like, eat that motherfucker. Like, you eat everything else. Like, literally everything else. Apparently, it didn't smell bad enough to eat. I don't know.
Odd.
But it's like an inch, like 2 inches long. So this thing's tiny.
Okay.
Cute as a damn button. Okay.
Yep.
As I get older, I get softer.
Yeah. Well, you're just telling your dog to eat it.
That's fine.
And now you're
if he eats it,
look, he's so cute.
I can't. Yeah, I'm not going to stomp it out. But if he eats it, I'm good.
Yep.
So I'm like, all right. So Cash doesn't do anything to this thing. He's like, now the mouse is like in next to the trash can and the trash can's round and it's in a corner. And he's like chilling there. I grab the mouse trap deal and I kind of just pin him into the corner with this tube that I have, the box I've built.
Yep.
And I'm like, cool. When he goes to move, he'll just move this way, hit the trap. We'll pick it up in the morning. I shut the door, throw a little towel under the door, keep it nice and sealed, and I go to bed. Wake up the next day, and I'm like, I'm doing other stuff and doing podcast things, getting other stuff squared away. And Jess calls me. She's like, did you check on your mouse? Or first off, she got her mouse that was in her car.
Nice.
Yeah, I got him in a trap.
Nope.
And then she's like, did you get your mouse? And I'm like, I don't know. I didn't check. And so I'm like, I'll go check. So I go in the bathroom, open the door, look around, start walking to the bathroom. I look over, and the toilet paper roll is attached to the side of the sink.
Uh-huh.
This fucker's sitting on top of the toilet paper roll just chilling.
Oh, hell no. 12 gauge again.
I was like, what the fuck?
Boom.
So I went and grabbed him. I went and grabbed a candle, one of those glass candle containers, the lid.
Yep.
I just went and grabbed that and walked up to him. He didn't go anywhere. He's just chilling. So I walked up to him, rolled his ass off the toilet paper roll into the thing, put the top on it, threw him on the counter, went to make him my breakfast. And then I went, he and I went for a ride with the three of us, Cash, I, and the mouse.
Huh.
And I went for a ride and we took her down the road about 2.5 miles and threw her into a heavily corned cornfield.
Huh.
I'm like, you got two options. Figure it out. Get eaten by a bird.
He's going to come back to your house. It's like, I know.
That's fine.
I know.
Second
which
time
direction
around, we're
we
not as
can.
nice. Okay, it's second chances.
Nope.
That's all you get.
I smacked one
But
today
anyway.
with an excavator bucket.
I tell you that story. This is straight
was
story time.
14 hours later. We now know that you took a mouse on a ride.
I tell you that story with extreme detail
Okay.
to tell you why I took the mouse for a ride in a Jeep.
Okay.
Because I was going to go weigh it. But as I'm heading down the road
mouse
to go weigh
or the Jeep?
Yes, I'm going
Okay.
to weigh the mouse at the scales.
I wasn't sure.
As I'm headed down the road with the Jeep to go weigh it, I'm thinking to myself, it's middle of the day on a weekday, and you're going to try to go to one of these grain elevators during harvest and try to steal a weight for this vehicle.
Yeah.
I don't feel like that's going to happen for you.
Send her in there real quick.
Yeah, no plates, barely insured.
The last time I weighed my shit
I was like, never mind.
At a grain elevator, I asked him, I was like, hey, do you mind if I pull my rock crawler up here and like grab a weight real fast with it? He's like, yeah, I mean, I guess. I don't, as long as there's not a truck in the way. He said, yeah, I'm fine with that. I was like, all right. So I ran home and grabbed it, put on trailer, came back, pulled behind the scale house, and unloaded it and come driving around, pulled up on the scale. I got buzzed off, turned around, pulled it back on the trailer, strapped it down, walked in to get my scale ticket. And he's like, well, now I'm pissed. And I'm like, oh my God. Like, I'm like, what? Like, I'm sorry. And he's like, if I'd have known that's what you were bringing, I would have come out there and I took a ride around the parking lot or something with it. And I was like, well, it's already strapped to the trailer. So, yeah, my bad. But maybe next time.
Maybe next go round.
I don't know why I went to I guess convenience that I went to a cat scale. Like
this time?
Yeah.
Oh, because you wanted to pay the dollars to have it weighed?
It's like $12.
So I haven't weighed low key yet. I'm contemplating whether or not I want to go do that. I can just take it out in the evening or nighttime and just run it over there. It's about 4 miles from the house, but it's all country cruising.
What, like cat scale?
No, I've got 2 scales available to me. One is at Incabrasa. The other one is at, Cortiva. One's at the Cortiva, the old Pioneer, there by St. Joe.
Yep.
And the other one is just the Premier Foals siding elevator there.
Okay.
Both of them have readable scales right there. I can just pull up on it, get a scale weight, bounce out.
Right.
I just didn't. Jess parks right next to where Loki's at.
Yep.
And I haven't backed it. I haven't moved her Jeep to go take it out one night.
Okay.
Typically in the evening, I have family duty to do.
Yeah.
So I would like to get it weighed before I tear it down, but I need to tear it down.
Well, do it, and then just tear it apart.
When I tear it down, I'm going to pull the diff. I'm going to pull the center. I'm pull everything apart. Pull the center out, get it set aside. I'm going to do that soon. Like, I know it's kind of cold. It's like 50s.
Yeah, it's like effing cold.
It's chilly. But is it worth it to take an hour of my time in the cold, rip that sumbitch apart, and get the process going to figure out what's wrong with it? And can I fix it here? Or does it need to be sent off to your work?
Yeah. Do we have to send it?
Yeah.
You have to send it to us over at Complete Offroad. Yeah. I mean, or what?
And so that's just it.
Yeah, it's worth it. Yes.
Or, can I fix it here? But either way, I have to pull it apart to find out.
Yeah.
So take that hour and a half.
Weigh it, come back, knock that SOV apart, and let Complete Offroad, and we will take care of you.
That's what I need to do. So I need to do all that, get that sorted, and then I need to get ready to get it back together. Because I would love to have that thing back on the road. If I could do all that, figure out this whole axle length, bearing situation, and get all that slammed back together in the next couple weeks, and have that done before the snow falls,
then it's golden.
It's golden. Yeah, literally go park it, and then when you want to work on it, pull it in the garage, park it inside in the heat,
and it's pretty close to like full on ready to go wheeling again.
Yeah,
that's what I mean. That's
With the exception of some of the other stuff I'd like to do to
a couple little minor things, but you could go on a wheeling trip.
Yeah, I could go on a wheel trip right now.
Let's do it.
Check the diff fluid and go wheeling.
Do it.
Not ideal.
Nah, you need to get that rear end figured out.
I do. May as well.
I'm still unofficially not hired at Complete Offroad, but I can still speak for them. Ridiculous. So we'll take care of you.
Did you have a conversation with Chris?
No.
You didn't?
No.
You guys didn't talk
I don't think he's listened to podcasts.
Bull. No, he's listened to it. He's made reference to it.
I don't think he has. Huh. He would have clearly called me with a unrefusable job offer.
One would have thought.
I mean, I've pretty much done all the interview process and legwork for him. I did send out a Snapchat video of me riding a floor scrubber as like practice for cleaning the floors. I'm not going to sweep the floor. I'm going to run over it with a floor scrubber, like a ride-on floor scrubber. But it's not about how you work. It's about how good the end result is. So
that's what it's all about.
I have news that I can share
about
things.
Okay.
2 things.
What have you learned?
And then we can move on to another thing. And then we can move on to another exciting news. So I can officially announce now that I am part of Outlaw Off-Road Racing Crew.
What does that mean?
I will be doing
working the shows.
Yeah.
Oh, you were official. Now, wait, you had a vest and a headset last year.
Yeah, that was like official shit.
You were crashing.
Yeah,
you crashed.
I was interviewing.
Oh, they liked you. Kevin was like, "It's all right."
Me. Shelby specifically was like, "God, Ian, we gotta have you."
You know what I want?
Like he said those.
I
words
want to be like Shelby's
much.
co-part. Like I want to be there on the announcement. I want to be the second part of the announcement. Like let him do all the announcement and me just sit in the background and just BS.
There's no BSing.
There's no BSing.
It's a event. Like
so they don't like commentate.
There's no time for that. You got to announce the guy coming up. You got to announce the stuff.
What about in between when you guys are like wrecked? Like when somebody rolls over and you're like doing recovery.
Can't be cracking jokes while people is upside down, bro. It's not
the time, huh?
He does some good work.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. I figured he does some good work. Couldn't he use some help?
I don't know.
You know what?
You got to talk to him.
I haven't seen a lot from Shelby lately. What's he been doing?
He's busy at work.
Oh, is he?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
I was wondering. I was scrolling through the page today, looking. I was like, I don't see anything from Shelby.
We still talk on the regs.
On the regs.
Yeah, on the up and ups. So with that being said, I've got an exciting opportunity to do some cool stuff next year. I've also got some plans to make that opportunity available to other people as well. So we'll have to stay tuned and I can dump some details later. But it'll be kind of neat. I think it'll be fun. The other exciting news I have that relates to that is, I feel like this is where you should insert a drum roll. Sorry, you're on TikTok yet again. Crawler Off-Road has officially stepped up and is sponsoring the Outlaw Series next year as well.
Oh, nice.
Yep.
I was wondering if they're going to do that.
Yep. So details of that sponsorship will officially be released here in the coming weeks, but they are on board and I'm excited about that. I think it's a good opportunity for them to get involved with a pretty cool series. So we'll have to drop some deets on that here coming soon.
Yeah. Deet it.
The other thing I have to talk about is on YouTube. Go check out Corn-Fed TV. It is literally spelled Corn-Fed TV.
Did he get the video up?
Yes.
By this time?
Yes.
Okay.
It's up now.
It's up now.
Like as live.
Jeremy checked it earlier.
Taping of this.
Corn-Fed TV.
Yep.
Any underscores?
Nope.
Okay.
Mr. Lincoln Bray has dropped a video called the Total Off-Road Podcast Takeover. I have not watched it yet, but I have heard it is a good video.
Huh.
So
I'm intrigued.
Check it out on YouTube, Corn-Fed TV, Total Off-Road Podcast Takeover from the Trail Riders Run. Should be pretty cool content. I know Jeremy with 8 Lug. Is it 8 Lug Promotions or
8
Productions?
Lug Productions.
8 Lug. I always fuck it up.
You do.
8 Lug Productions.
Yes.
Pigpen has also dropped his video. I watched it. I watched his. I was the first one to watch his video.
You were?
It said 0 views when I opened it on YouTube. I don't remember.
Did you comment on it?
No.
Fire.
I don't have shit to comment on it.
Just say,
I'm commenting on the podcast.
But that doesn't help the algorithms in the YouTubes.
Fuck them.
If you guys watch anybody's videos on YouTubes, and you liked it at all, do them a favor. Quick comment. Cool. Nice. Fantastic.
Yeah, it does help.
Whatever.
Yeah.
Fuck your video. All of those will help the algorithm.
It all boosts the numbers.
Say something in the comments, give it a like, and that will boost the numbers, and then that will help their page grow. If you can't give them money, you can give them likes and comments.
I'm telling all the listeners of our podcast that I liked it.
Sounds good.
Priceless.
Even if you didn't, you could do it before this drops.
I will do that.
Okay.
I need to be better at it for a lot of people's videos on YouTube. What do you do? I
didn't know that Lincoln's was up. Today was a little bit of a busy day. The wife had a great uncle that was actually really close to the family.
Yep.
Like he wasn't that old. But he passed away this past week. And so we had to go to his funeral. And honestly, one of the most upbeat funerals I've ever been to. Everybody was like laughing.
Like, I don't say this in a bad way, but that's odd.
He was a happy guy.
Yeah. Well, people were just celebrating his life versus like,
and they were telling like all that, so there was nobody there to give the eulogy.
Mm-hmm.
And so his daughter was like, if you guys have anything to say, feel free to come up here and say something. And nobody was doing anything. Everybody just got quiet. Nobody was doing anything. And my wife was like, I don't have like anything to say and I'm too shy to go up there to do it. But I will say like, I just like the good memories. And so she like shared one of her good memories. And then like that popped off and somebody else is like, oh yeah. And this time and, and that time. And like, things just start popping off. Then all of a sudden like these crazy ass stories like
one time we were drinking beer and, I'm like, oh, damn.
Yeah. So it was good. There was good stuff. Everybody's laughing, having a good time. There's very little tear shed. Everybody's sad that he's gone, but with what he had going on, it's better for him to go quick rather than to suffer for years. So it was cool. It was, as cool as a funeral could be, that was it.
Yeah.
So it was neat. It was good. But anyway, that's what today consisted of. And so I didn't spend a lot of time on the internets today. I talked to Jeremy Wilson, just checking up on him, see how he's doing. And then he had told me that Lincoln Bray's video
like
was not up yet.
Times the charm, but yes, Lincoln Bray.
Yeah, well, that's how it goes.
What do you do? There's too many bees.
We did not shout out our new patrons.
We are going to move right into the Patreons.
The Patreons. I don't know if you guys like hearing about it or not, but the people that come on to support this podcast, I would like to.
We got to shout them out because we appreciate them.
Because they're helping to support this podcast. For those of you that are unable to support or maybe don't know how, if you're on the page, give them a thank you. If you hear us shout them out, say thank you to them because they are helping to keep this podcast going and growing. Where in the hell is my Patreon dang old app?
Here you go.
I have the thing here. So let's see who joined when. That is so hard to figure out when you're on here. Let's go to messages. I'm trying to remember. Okay, so we recorded last Saturday and we had some things. Let me just make sure here. So there's a few people that stepped into the new tier.
Which we're going to talk about.
And then I could just shout out every one of these guys. I'm pretty sure, I think the only person to join this week is, and I'm going to butcher your last name, Alec Linenbrink, I think is how you say it.
Flip it around.
Go ahead. Get it in. There's a lot of vowels. Does it look like Linenbrink to you?
Yeah, that's how I would say it.
Yeah.
Linenbrink.
Yep.
Yeah.
So thank you, Alec, for jumping in. And thank you to all of you that have jumped up to the $10 tier from your already generous donation. Tell them what they've won or what they could win.
With that being said, we are going to change it up a little bit. So,
what have they won?
You have heard it first. Like, yes, you know proper English.
You heard it here first.
You done heard you done heard it.
Unless you're a patron.
Yeah.
We didn't heard it there first.
We didn't drop this though.
I may be dropped before then.
No, I mean, I don't think we talked about this.
We didn't.
Oh,
in the
eye to eye.
But there may be a post made.
It took me a minute for the crayon line to connect, but now I understand.
I could literally, good.
So what we're going to start doing, we're going to change things up a little bit because we really like to give shit away. Like, I don't know why. I really enjoy giving things away.
It's fun.
It is.
Like, it's more fun for me to get a message from somebody who has won something and how stoked they are that they won. Because I know that feeling.
Oh, dude, we've all been there.
Yeah.
Yep, we're like,
not you. You win everything.
I do not win everything. My wife wins everything. That's a fact.
Okay, that's definitely a fact. Yeah. After watching her winning spree at RC Fest.
That was ridiculous.
Jesus.
We're probably not invited back next year for that reason.
Yes.
It's for the children.
But it's just fun. It's more fun to give stuff away than to keep it's more fun to give shit away than it is to make a profit off of selling anything I've ever sold. Yes. Like the profit's like, oh, woo.
Yeah.
It's fun for a minute. Yep. It's more fun to see people like giddy.
Yeah.
Like when Benjamin Biker won one of his, what was it he won? Did he win a crawler rope? I think he won a crawler
Everybody
rope.
We've talked
because
to
he needed a winch.
Give stuff away. They're like blown away. And I love it.
Yeah.
Absolutely love it.
Yep.
So in the efforts to keep giving shit away,
here we go.
Here's how we're going to do this. Our midweek minis are no longer going to be coming out on Fridays.
Boy, that's going to help. I didn't think about this until you just said that.
Yep.
That's going to really help with the download space on our host site.
Yes.
Okay.
So we're
I'm
going to
contribute
move some
that.
stuff around.
Yeah,
We're going to do that. We like to be transparent here.
we do.
So what we're going to do is we are taking the midweek minis. They are not going away.
They're not. They're going.
They are going to
Patreon.
the Patreon page.
And you can access them for the low price of
How many dollars?
$1.
So for $1, you can get all the Patreon content.
Mm-hmm.
There is no like, oh, you get the cheap content or the high content.
You get all of it.
You get everything.
You get everything. You get the posts that I post on Patreon. You get the pictures that Ian's going to post on Patreon.
Yeah, I see you. I see you looking in my direction.
Looking directly
angrily.
at you.
Yes.
You're going to get the midweek minis with all the content. So here's the deal is that every week we can't necessarily line up a high profile guest to put into that big content.
Yep.
But when we do, it's going to be on Patreon.
Yep.
And so like all of the midweek minis are going to roll over to Patreon. You're going to have that content. You're going to have the extra like behind the scenes that we put out every week on Patreon.
The pre-game of the podcast.
Basically, basically it's easier for us to roll everything into that and keep it all in the Patreon format. That way it's a little bit less stress on us. And then if we miss one, you're still going to have the Patreon behind the scenes that week. So you're still going to have your extra content. But just with time constraints like family and Ian's getting ready to get a dog and the holiday season's coming up, just a lot of stuff going on. And so it's going to work out a little bit better for us.
It's going to loosen the schedule.
It's going to loosen our schedule a little bit.
But, and I'll say it now and we could edit it if it's not true, but like I don't plan on taking a break for the holidays with this podcast.
I'm going to try as hard as I can.
We may record a week or two early.
Yeah.
If we have to,
mm-hmm.
But like, we're not going to take like the holiday season off.
Right.
Like
when you're traveling, you're going to be listening to
have
these
some
voices.
content. And that's why, but we just don't want to have to lock people's schedules in for our content to record our content that works with our schedules, because that is a freaking nightmare.
The first couple of weeks of the midweek mini, we were able to do it. Things were working out, but now the schedules have gotten kind of crazy. You've got stuff going on this weekend, so recording this one a little bit earlier than normal for us. And then so we're going to be up till what? Probably we'll be here till 11:30 tonight in the studio. And then I got to go home
and edit
this. And whether or not, I have to go home and edit this and get it up. So I'll be up till past midnight. Then I got to play on TikTok. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like there's things.
Yeah.
But really it's just a matter of scheduling, and it's bonus content. As much as we want to give it away for free, I'm catching heat for as much time as we're spending in the studio.
Yes.
What did we spend in here last week? 6 hours?
Yes.
It was a lot.
I mean,
I didn't leave your house until 2 a.m.
Yeah. We put the time in.
Yeah. And so that's what's going on.
That's the justification for it. Now here's your benefit. You're like, I don't care about your life.
Yeah.
Give me content. That's fine. I get you.
But if you, for $1, you're going to get almost
$1,
double.
You're getting all the stuff.
Yeah,
now, here's the big thing.
Oh yeah. I forgot about that part.
The big thing.
The biggest thing.
For $10 a month,
$10.
you're in a different tier.
So 2 less Starbucks drinks.
Or depends on how
beer.
many extra shots you get. I've got a couple extra shots and it's like a $10 cup of coffee. And you're like, oh shit.
God damn
it.
Okay.
But yeah, for $10 a month.
Yep.
If you commit and do the $10 a month, you are entered. We are going to do a quarterly giveaway.
Yes.
And we may raise this, depends on how wild this goes.
Or we may make it more
frequent.
Yeah. We'll change frequency depending upon how many patrons sign up in this tier. It's the $10 tier. It's the giveaway tier.
Yep.
And things will change as more and more people sign up. But as of right now, tentatively,
the first one,
this is for sure what's going to happen the first quarter. What do they get?
We don't know yet.
Oh, well, I know. I have an idea.
It's a $500 valued item.
Yes.
Or minimum. Yeah, or
it's
items.
$500. It'll be $500 minimum retail of whatever we're going to give away. My goal is to maybe make that $500 what we get for it. So like, say we can pick it up for like half price. So we just double up.
Oh, that's what I mean.
And
like,
more
I want to give shit away.
So like minimum 500. if we can pull some strings and get something that's worth $800 for $500,
yep,
we'll do that.
Yep.
You know
well, that's what I mean. Like, we're not
goal.
here to take money and make it profitable. We're here to take money and give more shit away. Like, I want to give you all this content, and for $10 a month, you could literally take home $500 minimum.
You could.
Prize package.
One last thing before we stop ad reading you with our Patreon page, just because we like I said, we'd like to be clear on what we're doing.
Yep.
When you get in the $10 tier, it gives you an entry. Every $10 is an entry. So you're in it for $10. It's 3 months in between giveaways. You get 3 entries. If you jump in at $15, then we'll try to figure out what entries you have that way, and we'll work that out. If you're in at $20, and
it's
so
double.
on. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you're getting double. So you have 6 ads. So every $10 you have put in for the quarter, you get that many entries into the giveaway.
Just ups your odds, man.
That's right. Just makes your odds better.
Yep.
I just want to be clear about that, how we are structuring that.
Yep.
Okay.
So the first one we're going to do is going to be right before Christmas. We're going to give, that'll be the first giveaway is going to be right before Christmas. And then we're going to start, and it'll basically be 4 quarters, unless, like I said, we can make it more.
Yeah. If you guys fill it up and start doing, if you get to the point where we're making if we're bringing in more than $500 in a quarter, then we're going to change it, because
we're going to give more shit away.
We're either going to change the frequency and make it every, bi-monthly, or whatever we have to do to keep it rolling.
I want to give away a set of tires.
That would be a fun goal.
That's my cool goal.
Like do we hope
effing tires?
Yeah, no, like do we hope it's
30s,
somebody?
I give them some Toyota Corolla tires.
Yeah. So, all right. So you're the winner. What do you? What tire do you want?
What's your wife's car got
some
on
43 stickies?
Yeah.
Oh, fuck.
I want to give a set of stickies away.
Scott?
Yeah. I'll have a pallet drop shipped to your house, or you can pick them up.
I love it.
God, that's going to be my goal.
If you're wondering, so we're sitting here talking about all this Patreon stuff. If you don't know what it is, it's Patreon. It's patreon.com. You can go over and check it out. It's free to sign up. It's literally like making a social media account, so to speak. But you only follow the people you want to follow. Anyway, go do that. Once you get in, look up Total Offroad Podcast. We should pop right up. If you need a link, we can.
It's on the website.
It's on the website?
On the website.
It's on the website. It's on a lot of the podcast players now, where it says support this podcast.
Yep.
You can do that. Just if you want to go check it out, you're not obligated at all to do that. You can even sign up for one and follow us on there, and you don't even have to donate yet. You're not going to get a lot of the extra content, but you're more than welcome to jump in and follow.
Or for $1.
Or for $1.
Try it out and see what you think.
Yeah.
And then go, no, I don't like these videos.
Then 1 month later, you bounce back out.
Yep.
Like,
you got options.
You're more than welcome to do that.
I want people to get in this, and I want to give away a set of stickies.
Yep. We appreciate your support, and that is the Patreon that we're doing. Back to off-road podcasting. What do you got? Did you find anything out about Fire Aid?
Nope.
Okay, we want to have Fire Aid on as a guest to learn some more about them. I've got a few questions that I'd like to ask. I think that it would be good information for you guys. So it's something we're going to be working on, getting going. And is that something you want to do?
Yeah, I'm working on it.
Yeah. Get to work. Chop, chop. Did you really work? Did you work hard?
No. I worked. I didn't work hard at it.
Did you send him one message?
Yep. I just sent him an email.
An email?
I'm going to call him this week.
Call him.
Maybe tomorrow.
Get a hold of him. Be like, look, hey, I don't know if you guys know this, but I'm Ian. And I'm kind of a big deal.
Check me out on the Instagrams, bros.
On the interwebs.
My friend's got a pretty badass TikTok video. Can I lead with that?
My co-host is semi-famous.
Yeah, we got one pretty epic TikTok video there, bro.
I would love to get an off-road video to go viral. I know they're out there.
Do it.
But TikTok's a finicky bitch. It's tough.
I know nothing about it.
Nobody knows anything about it.
That's the beauty.
Show me somebody who can just hammer out viral videos on TikTok every time, and I'm like, God, you're just good.
Okay.
Anyway, but off-road, it's just such a niche. It's a niche, but there's like probably a couple million people on TikTok that do off-road.
It's because I'm not on TikTok.
Oh yeah, it's
I'm
understandable.
bringing all my people
Don't do
to
it.
TikTok.
Oh.
I fully do not intend on doing anything with
as the
TikTok.
wife was TikToking as we came in to record.
She has problems.
She loves it.
Yeah.
It's dangerous.
It drives me nuts.
Anyway, I would love for something on TikTok to take off like that, because that means that like we can bring more stuff and we can find more things.
Let's give more stuff away.
Let's give more stuff away.
Let's do it.
Somebody, so did I talk about on the Patreon, talking to Phil? Was that on here or Patreon?
I don't know.
Either way, was talking to another buddy that does podcast stuff, and he went and listened to one of the podcasts. He's not into off-road at all, but he is into audio stuff. And he went and listened to the latest one, and he's like, oh, you guys just said fuck you money. And I was like, yeah, if we had fuck you money, and this is what I told him, I was like, if we had fuck you money, here's what I would do. And I mean, like, yeah, if somehow we blew up and ended up with fuck you money, I would hold a raffle, get 3 listeners. We'd all fly the fuck out to Utah. I would find 3 vehicles and like give them to the listeners, and we'd all just go ride out in Utah for a week.
Yeah, that'd be pretty cool.
Wouldn't that be awesome?
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Just give shit like that away.
Oh, I'd love
Like,
to.
oh, that was one giveaway. What else are we gonna do?
We'll give a Jeep away.
For sure. I just could go buy a JL and just give it away to somebody. Like legit. Like that's what I would love to do.
That's the goal of this
That'd be
podcast.
so much fun.
To give everything away.
It's like, oh yeah, this month we made, a hundo, like $100,000 or something like that. Like, oh fuck. If we made $100,000 this month.
Give it away.
If we give it away, how do you write that off? I'm sure there's a way. But
Don't
you like
even
make
need
it.
to worry about it. I'm just going to give it away.
Oh no, you definitely write it off.
Done.
You're not paying taxes on that.
Gone.
Marketing budget. Epic amounts.
You'd have to finish your shit box if we're going
you
wheeling.
You bought a JL and you use it as marketing?
Yeah, we gave it away. Give it away now.
That would be a blast. You know how much fun we'd have? Just giving shit away.
So,
Talk to me. What?
I was looking at rear steer stuff the other day.
Okay, now we're back to good stuff.
Busted Knuckle makes a kit.
Mm-hmm.
It's a electro hydraulic rear steer kit.
Yes. Self-centering?
Yep.
Okay.
So it comes with a pump. It's a 12-volt pump. And then it has, hydraulic pump on it. Cool. It's got a standalone reservoir with it. And then has a waterproof like relay and fuse block that's wired up with the self-centering. And then you have the sensors on the axle and all that stuff. Yep. So that's $2,000.
Is that terrible?
No.
Not great.
For what it is.
Yeah.
So I'm like, interesting. Because I could go buy one of those pump setups for a couple $100. And then I was like, well, how deep into the quality of steering, like self-centering and, all that, do I need? Obviously, do I want is a different level than what I need. So what's that worth to me? I guess was my question to myself, because I was like, well, I could set it up to have it on a joystick and just do a simple hydraulic, like the cheapest way would be a simple like valve.
Right.
Like
and just move it one way or the other.
You turn left, you turn right, you look behind you, you center it up, and you go down the road.
Are you going to try to use your existing power steering pump for that?
Nope.
Okay, good. You're going to use an electric pump.
I'm going to use this electro hydro valve setup and then run it like hose up to just a manual valve.
Oh, you're going to do it like that?
Well,
like you're not even going to use electric valves?
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. So this is the cheap option.
Okay.
The cheapest of the options.
The cheapest of the options is literally a hydraulic valve.
Yeah.
That you run hoses to that and then back to the
stick.
ring.
And then you literally
But you could probably get one of those through work pretty good.
Yeah.
You?
Or you just, they're not that expensive on the internet.
Well, I'm just saying, like you probably have a vendor through work that sells something into that, like that.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's cheap and easy.
Yeah. Minus the lines.
Yeah.
Hoses won't be cheap.
No problem for me.
Okay. So
I got myself covered.
That's the cheap and easy, and it does not return to center. You have to self-adjust it back.
Yep.
Okay.
The next
what do you
option,
think you'd have in that setup? So you have to buy the pump, right?
I bet you'd have $500 in it.
So you think you'd
not including the steering axle components?
Oh yeah,
because then there's that.
Right, but we're only comparing apples to apples, which is just getting the rear steer working, the functionality. Okay. $500.
The other option is to do the same thing, but just go to an electronic valve. So you just have an electronic toggle switch that you would just left steer, right steer. You'd look behind you to center it up. Have a nice day. Thanks for coming. I think that's probably a pretty comparable price, to be completely honest with you.
Probably, yeah, because you're only buying 2 more valves, but you're saving on hoses, and you're not running hoses inside the cab, just doing electronics in the cab.
Yeah.
Be pretty easy to wire up. Just need to get that little switch. And for that matter, you could probably use like a switch from a snowplow setup, that style switch. You know what I'm saying?
Well, you would just use a momentary switch.
Oh, you would just do it like
to
that.
Where you just bump it. You don't like turn it left, because like in my RC crawler,
like
I have a toggle switch like for my rear steer, and it literally, like, if you flip it all the way to the left, it turns all the way to the left. You flip it to the right, it turns all the way to the right. If you center it, it comes back to center. But this would not have that.
Right. That wouldn't have the rear. So that setup that you're talking about right now is what Matt has on the Cummins crawler.
Yeah.
And he hates it.
Yeah. Which I get. I mean, I see the draw.
It just takes a lot of focus.
Self-centering.
It takes a lot of focus to try to remember which way you're toggling. So basically just seat time.
Yep.
And the more seat time you have, the easier it'll be.
Yep.
But at the same time, like, how easy would it be if you let off the toggle and it just goes back? But and for the price difference,
that's the key, is how much is it?
You know what I'm saying?
$2,000 for their kit.
How much was it from Kryptonite?
I don't know. It's more.
I feel like Matt said his was like $1,500.
I thought Berkey's was cheaper than Kryptonite's, but I might be wrong.
I thought Matt said his was like $1,500.
I don't know.
So you want to know how that switch?
But even still, you're talking another $1,000.
You want to know how the return to center works on that one?
By all means.
Okay, so it's essentially like a
it's a tube.
It's a shift cable.
Sensors in it.
It's a shift cable. Yeah, and then it's a piece of aluminum tube with another aluminum tube inside of it.
Yep.
And the aluminum tube inside is indexed. And so when it moves back and forth on the outer tube, they have 2 sensors, 2 switches. And those switches have a little like ball.
Yeah, it's a little micro switch.
Like a detent. It has like a detent ball bearing though.
Yep.
Anyway, it moves back and forth. And as it moves back and forth, when the ball bearing falls in, then the switch opens up and the other switch turns on. And that's how it knows when it's centered.
Yeah.
Like, isn't that messed up? Like, it's so stupid simple.
$1,500. You are correct.
Okay, so it is cheaper.
Yes.
I saw Matt's.
Now, my opinion, Busted Knuckles looks like a
nicer,
beefier kit.
Oh, beefier.
Yeah. Let me pull you a picture.
I feel like Kryptonite builds a lot of mega truck stuff.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Not bouncer stuff, just mega truck.
Yep.
The only thing that I saw with Kryptonite that I was kind of meh on was their distribution block part of the setup. It's kind of interesting. It's a very low buck, like circuit board type setup with just some connector ends on it, stuff like that. Like, it's not over the top. It's not like an easy like plug and play relay type deal. I don't know. It wasn't, in my opinion, like super high cost part.
So this is Berkey's steering tube.
Okay, so it looks
it's just 2 micro switches. It's all electronic. There's no cable.
Yeah, right.
And it looks a lot more.
There's a cable for that. There's got to be a cable for that. How could that function without a cable?
I don't make the rules here, bro.
You definitely do not. Okay, there's the tube. I don't understand how that functions. See how his box is all like pre-made and wired up?
All pre-wired. Yeah. His also has where you push a button and it's an override, so it does not self-center. So you can push a button, bypass it, and turn it, and then his has a push button.
So the pump looks the same or similar anyway.
Yeah, it's the same similar style pump.
How?
Let me read. Let me do reading.
How does that tube attach to the knuckle? That becomes the question.
Relay system with a sensor mounted on the rear axle to determine steering position and automatic return to center.
Maybe they mount it to the ram?
Don't know.
Huh. So the way Matt's is set up is so that you can get the sensor up away from the axle. Using that cable. You can get it away from that area.
3-foot push-pull cable to attach steering or to attach to steering.
Not included.
Yeah. No, that's included.
So yeah, it's the same concept then.
Yeah.
Yep. It's exactly the same. The difference is you're getting that nice wired box and you're getting the Berkey name.
Yeah, I think you're getting a little cleaner product.
I think maybe a little more refined.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, it's whatever. It's another $500 for that. So, I mean, does it work? Yeah. But it's also another $1,000 to go to a kryptonite from what I could probably throw together for, and I'm being generous.
For non self-centering.
Yeah.
And I think if you wanted to put the R&D into it, you could build your own self-centering for another $500.
Yeah.
So you'd have $1,000 into it and build your own. So you think you can get the pump? You think you can get that pump and lines, the ram, and the toggle for $500?
Yeah.
Huh. That'd be pretty good. Like that would get you a rear steering.
What did you say I could buy? Give me the parts list again.
You need the pump.
Yep.
You need a ram.
I'm not talking about axle components. I'm talking about just
okay. So you're not including the ram.
No.
Okay. So you need, because they don't sell a ram with it.
No.
You need a pump. You need
hoses. And a valve.
Does the pump have a reservoir?
Yeah.
You need hoses, which you have a hookup.
Yep.
I assume. And then you have, the valve of your choice, whether it be hydraulic or if you want to go to electric and just buy a couple valves.
It would just be one valve. You just do a hydromatic. It's just an electronic like valve spool that has two coils on each side and it pulls the valve spool left or right.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I think Matt's uses two different valves. So then when you toggle the switch, it opens one and then it closes and then it dumps the other.
It's just all on what kind of valve you use.
Right. If you can get a valve that's one block, it'll be a lot better.
Yep.
It'll be better for your application.
That's just what we use on a lot of like boom lifts and stuff like that.
What do you think that valve costs?
I don't know.
Hundo?
$150, $200 maybe.
Okay.
Depends on where you buy it.
I feel like I'd be tempted to do that over buying a mechanical hydraulic valve to put in the cab.
Yeah. So I just looked one of the pump and motors up.
Yeah.
It's like $300.
So you got $200 left to spend on your
valve and some wiring and a couple hoses.
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, yeah. So you're probably
I could have that done for $600.
Yeah. Honestly, I guess I would worry about that after you have acquired your rear steering axle and your ram. Like you're all set up and it's currently locked out. So you know what I'm saying? Like you've built it and you've locked it out to just centered.
But see, the thing is, like I can completely build a new rear axle, measure my link mounts and everything.
Yeah.
Build it all out of the truck and not have the truck down.
Right. Yeah. Yep.
And then literally in a weekend, unbolt the tires, unbolt the links, unbolt the coilovers, unbolt the sway bar links, brake lines, pull it out, put it in, hook up the brake lines, hook up the sway bar links, hook up the shocks, put the tires on, hook up the hoses and everything and be done.
Can you reuse your calipers on the new rear axle? Are your calipers from like a front application? He's thinking. Okay. Like
they're a 3/4 ton pickup
rear.
I think they're a 3/4 ton pickup front caliper, to be honest with you.
But the bracket would be different on whatever you put.
Yeah. Okay. I would just use like a stock. I mean, honestly, the cheapest way is just a stock Dana 60 caliper and a stock bracket.
Can you order? Okay, so would you then order one from Rhodes then? You would just call up.
Here's my conundrum with that.
Okay.
It cost me about $5,000 to build a Steer 14 myself.
End to end complete.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, $5,000-ish. $5,300.
Mm-hmm.
I could buy one for probably another $1,000
on top of that.
$1,500. Yeah.
Complete?
Yeah.
Shafts and all.
40 spline.
Oh my God.
I could probably get one for in the $765,
That's a
maybe
ton of money.
$7,500.
It's a ton of money.
But go build it yourself and hash it together and spend $5,000.
Yeah.
Ow.
And spend
just kick the table.
How long making it and wonder, did I do this right?
Yep.
I mean, it's your second one, so you're going to be a little bit more like you're going to have a little more knowledge with it. Are you going to go Kingpin or are you going to go to that bigger thing you're talking about? You were talking about something. So you're not going to go Big Bell.
No, that's expensive.
But you're going to go.
I would like to go Super Duty Outers.
And they have like some kind of Kingpin setup you're talking about. No? Or ball joint?
Oh, like ball joint eliminators?
Is that what you're going to do?
That's if you want to run a ball joint axle, which I will not be doing.
You just said Super Duty Outers.
Yeah.
Isn't that ball joint?
So you would run, if you do the Super Duty outers, you can run, I believe, I'd have to look this up.
Okay.
I'm not good with remembering certain
Right.
things. I believe with a Super Duty outer, you can run it's an 05 plus outer, essentially. So you run a unit bearing outer.
Right.
Yeah.
Ball joints?
I don't know. I don't remember.
Even if they were, you could quickly call up
ball joint eliminator. Yeah.
Ball joint eliminators.
And you just
order a set and throw them in there.
But honestly,
feel like for the rear, that probably wouldn't hurt you, especially if you even plan to try to do bouncer shit.
My problem is, like, if I'm honest, I could build one to mimic the front axle, which is a stock knuckle, It's a stock plated knuckle with a stock inner C, high steer, blah, 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 and probably be fine.
Probably. No harder than you currently wheel.
Nope. And then if you want to break something, I think you're going to snap fucking knuckles.
Yeah.
I'm going to snap the top of the knuckle off.
The knuckle or inner C?
Knuckle.
The knuckle.
I've never seen the inner C get fucked up.
It's always the knuckle?
I've always seen a lot of Dana's 60 knuckles get snapped off. Either the high steer shears the bolts and snaps them off, and then you just got to drill them out, pull them out, all that, and then put new bolts in. Or it'll snap the top of the knuckle off of a 60 knuckle. That's why you plate the knuckles to make them beefier. So the answer to that is... Here's the creep of this project. I'm going to retube this axle center section because it's easier to tube it than it is to cut it and sleeve it and weld it. So then I'm going to do that. Well, then I'm going to buy an aftermarket like Reed set of C's because they're already bored out to 3.5 inch DOM. So they're already bored. I just have to buy them, slap them on, weld them up, done. Then you can run a stock knuckle. Even if you wanted to plate the knuckle, you could run a stock plated knuckle on a Reed inner C. You don't have to run a Reed knuckle. The benefits with the Reed knuckle is you get, I think they're 5, if not 6 bolts for the high steer. They're also keyed in the high steer, so it takes care of that problem. But you could also upgrade to a Reed knuckle and high steer arm later on down the road. So my thought is to retube aftermarket C, truss it, done, have a nice day, and just use a plated stock knuckle, 4340 stock shafts, chromoly, 4340 chromoly. Gee, many Christmas.
Make it up.
4340 chromo shafts, and throw it together with some solid hubs and some slugs and have a nice day. But I don't know.
Yeah.
It falls into the buy once, cry 3 times thing. But like, how much money do I also want to keep dumping into this project before I go, I could just wheel it with no rear steer and have no problems.
I think.
Or I could throw a couple grand into it and wheel it with like, I don't want to say subpar, but not like the beefiest rear steer axle.
How about you...
And then upgrade over time.
Right. How about you go out? How about we put in a couple trips on it? So get your gears, get your motor lined out, get your cooling system set up. Okay.
Oh, this is all my plan. I'm not like, I don't plan on rear steering for probably a year or so.
I was going to say, like, get all that squared and let's go out and put a few trips on it, get some seat time and see how that plays out. And then that's going to tell you more on what you need to do next. I love I've just finished my shit, so now I need to think about what I need to do to it. Well,
I've always kind of had my reservations about being 134-inch wheelbase and not having rear steer, especially on a buggy. So,
it's low.
I mean, if I could build a 134-inch wheelbase buggy with no budget, I would have rear steer on it.
How many bouncers have rear steer?
A lot.
Really?
Yeah.
So it's pretty common.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. I mean, I figured it was, but I didn't know how many. Not following it as closely as you, I wasn't sure how much it really was.
Yeah. I mean, you're talking, you can dodge trees faster. You can do all kinds of stuff. You can line up to something. You can change your line a lot faster. Mm-hmm. For me, the biggest thing for me is literally being able to turn around trees.
Yeah.
Because there were times I'm like, gee, many Christmas. Like, did anybody else have to 4-point turn? No. Having sliders on it will help because then I'll be able to like door the sliders and kind of drag it around. But
Yeah.
It'd just be nice to bump the old rear steer and just bloop, bloop.
Oh, yeah. No, it's definitely, Matt is 136, I think, on 47s and a bit wider than you are. But his rear steer, having that, it makes it turn like a 90-inch wheelbase vehicle.
Yeah.
It's dumb.
Yep.
But when you get into that situation, like we were at Flat Nasty running the ridge on 10, I think it's trail 10, and we got to this one spot where it's like a hairpin turn to come down. So you come around this corner and then it like hairpins back like 160 degrees or some shit.
Yep.
And you go down and at the same time it's hairpinning, it's like turning and like going down. And so Derek had to like 3 or 4 point that to get it so where he wasn't going to take out his back window on a tree that was right there. And then Mike did it and he had to 3-point it with some help from a spotter. You know, just you're long enough that you just can't quite make it around that corner.
Yep.
And then Matt came up. I brought him up high. He turned it. He cut that rear axle and just one-shotted it.
Yeah.
And I was like, boy, that's nice.
Rear steer.
Yep. And yeah, and he's Detroit's. So, I mean, kind of locked.
Yep.
But at the same time, like he's way bigger than they are.
Yep.
So
that's what I mean.
It's one of those things like if you can afford it, it's totally worth it.
Yep.
But if you can't afford it, then like you can get by.
Well, and
Just
my
fine.
thing is like I can go buy a nice complete axle that's 40 spline from Travis Rhodes at Rhodes Diffs, but like I don't know. Do I need that much beef? Maybe later, but I could always build one and then sell it and buy another one.
I have a question.
Yes.
And don't you have that handy little lever in the middle of your center console to like shut the rear axle off?
Yeah.
So would it
still
be
doesn't turn for shit? I mean, it turns better, but
would it be cheaper to? Oh, you can't. You can't do like a cutter brake because you're spooled.
not individually left or right.
It wouldn't matter. Yeah. Like even if you did, it wouldn't matter. It would,
Yeah. No, you'd have to do it front to rear.
You could do it front to rear. So you could lock the rear tires up, but then you're still trying to drag that one tire.
Which I have a mechanical like valve for the rear brakes. So, I mean, I can do like if you're doing a front dig, you can lock the rear.
Is that in the interior? You can access it?
It's right there behind the trans tunnel.
So why don't you, okay, so next time we go out, try that. You come up to a hairpin corner you can't make, set that rear brake, disengage the rear drive line, and hug it around the corner.
Well, I mean,
and see how that does for you. See if
it
that
would work. But if you're just trail riding, like there were times where I was just doing some like tree trail ride kind of things,
and you're just having trouble.
And it was just like, man, if I could just give it a little to the left and to the right, you could just kind of snake through it a little easier.
Yeah.
Whereas sometimes I'd have to like cut it and then bring it back, and I'd take that tire and like bounce the tire off the inside tree to kind of skate around it.
That's how I
turn a little bit. But I don't know. It's just one of those things that you're like being 134-inch wheelbase.
Right.
You gotta pick one. I wanted the extended cab for the room, so that's my trade-off. And I mean, it's definitely tolerable, but they ain't never done. So so here we are.
I got a message yesterday, I think it was. So like Wednesday last week. And now I'm messaging him trying to like not butcher his name as much. And he says, tell Ian, hey, and to get his shit together to come to Wellsville.
Who said this?
So this is Anthony Carnes, I think is how you pronounce it. And he messaged me the other day and was like, hey, I don't know if you guys are planning on doing anything or not, but we are having, so he lives over in Ohio area, and they're going to some off-road park in Wellsville, Ohio, on like around Thanksgiving, and then again around the first of the year for like a hangover. I looked it up. It's like almost 8 hours to drive there. It's a trip. It's on the far
but 8
side
hours.
of Ohio.
Like I just went 8 hours to go to Mid-America. So
with a rig on your butt.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's fine for you.
Yeah.
My shit box has not been vetted yet. My tow pig shit box.
Okay.
Is not vetted.
Which shit box are you doing?
The other dumpster is still at the trans shop, get the transmission put in it. So once I get it back and let it nickel and dime me for a couple months, I think maybe I'll have it tow worthy. I hope. And then I will think to do things of that nature. But anyway, I told him I probably couldn't make it just because of the distance and not having a tow pig yet and stuff like that. But yeah, Anthony invited us to go over there for that. He sent me some pictures of that place. It is gnarly. It's got some cool rock stuff in it.
Let's do it.
Okay, sounds great. Your shit together?
Yeah, it could be together.
It's almost there.
It's together now.
Did you figure out a fan thing? I wasn't listening.
Yeah, I know. You're on TikTok.
You were talking
I got to do
about
a shrouded fan with more CFM. 2-speed shrouded fan.
2 fans, 1 fan?
1 big fan.
You're going to do 1 big fan.
Yep, for space constraints.
How many CFM you looking to pull?
2,200.
It's a pretty good number.
Yep.
Did you already say that?
Yep.
You said the numbers and all.
I might have said the numbers. I don't remember. But yeah, 2,200 CFM, shrouded, single fan.
I got halfway famous and just got out the window.
We all went to shit.
Just trying to find some money.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
I got to buy a shrouded fan.
Okay. So we kind of figured that already.
Yeah, I confirmed that with my diagnostic testing to watch the temp go and maintain and not get cooler, but not get hotter.
Right.
But that's also sitting at 2,500 RPM.
Did you take a temp gauge and take a temp gun and temp the engine just to check and all that? Mm-hmm. Yeah, and nothing. It's your temp sensor's dead on.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So I can watch it's got 2 temp sensors on it.
Okay.
1 for the engine, 1 for the gauge. So my gauge is plumbed in the back of the block, and the temp sensor for the PCM is in the front of the block. Mm-hmm. And it's about, looking at my gauge, which is pretty accurate, it's about 3 or 4 degrees.
That's nominal.
Colder than the PC. No.
Warmer.
Yeah, it's 3 or 4 degrees behind the PCM.
Wow.
So when the gauge says like 240, it's at like 237. So if anything, that kind of helps you, give you a little bit like, oh shit, it's a little warm. And they're like, well, it's like 3 or 4 degrees cooler than what it shows. But
okay, so the PCM is cooler than your gauge.
Yes.
Okay.
Did I say that backwards?
Yeah.
Okay.
But that would make sense because your gauge is on the back of the block where where the coolant is going through the engine first.
Yes.
3 to 4 degrees is like nominal when you're at 250.
Yeah, I would say that's a minor.
And
minor
then
deal.
what was I going to ask you about that? Okay, so that you're dead on with your temp and all that stuff's right. See, that's what low-key is off still. I got to figure that out. I have another shout out to more people that are trying to help me and not get me go wheeling yet. Okay, so should I tell you what Anthony drives? He gave me the deets for it.
Okay, well, let's hear it.
It's a Comanche. It's running a 2-wheel drive. It's running a second gen Dodge Tons, Dana 60 front, Dana 70 rear, and it's now on 40s. It was on 44s in that picture. What picture? He sent me a pictures on 44s. Good God. Who has a Comanche? Oh, yeah, those are 44s. Those are huge. On some 44-inch pit bulls beating around. God, I should have gone to Tons. Anyway, that's Anthony's rig. It's pretty cool. You want to see it?
Yes.
I'll show you a picture. Got a flat bed on the back of his Comanche. No doors.
Yep.
Some 44-inch rock pit bulls.
Oh, boy. So they're like 40s, but, you know.
It was perfect, yeah.
Pit bulls.
Now he's on the 40s. I don't know what 40s he's on. But anyway, the other thing I had was I posted in the Trail Riders. I didn't even look at this post yet, so I should probably go check it to see what you guys came up with. I was asking about doing steering stuff. And really what I was looking for was a guest. I want to have somebody on that knows about steering. With today's changes that we announced, we're probably going to move. That'll be available in Patreon as the next thing. Chad Bartley, me. I kind of thought that. I asked if anybody knew anything about hydro steering, and is it Tarrant VJ? I'm not sure who that is. I don't know who you are. Where's he from? Anyway, one of our good listeners in that group, Tarrant, says, no, just spool it and be done.
That's the fucking correct answer. Fucking A. Weld her up and fucking kick her down the road, bud.
Nonetheless, I did get a message from one of our listeners, and actually kind of lives kind of close. But Scott Turner hit me up and was like, yeah, I know about hydro. It's like hydro steering. What do you want to know? And he started telling me a bunch of cool stuff, but he said that on my setup, what I should do to fix my sluggish hydro steering is move over to the GM style P pump, away from my Chrysler. Well, I guess it's a TC pump. I don't know anything about this. I'm just spitting like numbers out and things. And you guys probably know more than I do. Nonetheless, that he said that would supply the volume that I need to run that RAM more efficiently. And he also recommended that I change to a slightly different line size.
What size line are you running?
I have no idea.
Bro,
He said move to a number 6. I don't know what I'm.
That's 3/8.
It's 3/8.
Yep.
I think I'm running 5/16 right now.
That's very fucking odd.
Why?
It's just a very odd.
I'm guessing. I don't know.
Line.
I don't know what
Quarter
size
3/8 is
really?
usually the things.
How big is 3/8? Is it 3/8 inner diameter?
I'm glad you asked. How big's 3/8? I'm like, well, it's approximately 3/8 of an inch. Like, with no fucking shit.
ID or OD? ID, I assume.
I got to smack. I'm still.
Come on.
Oh, sorry, I haven't got over that question. So, how big is 3/8? Well, if you take out this tape measure, it's approximately 3/8 of 1 inch.
You stopped me before I finished my statement.
I get where you were going.
How big is that size hose? Because obviously it's not 3/8 of an inch outer diameter.
Well, I mean,
I
didn't know if that's what you were asking.
Okay, so I'm assuming that it's currently running quarter.
Yeah.
Because I don't think probably the outside diameter of the line right now might be like 7/16.
It's real
maybe
tiny.
half inch.
Real tiny.
It's not real tiny, but it's not big.
The problem is,
it's like this big.
See, the problem is
that big?
You can't judge hydraulic hose based on outside diameter because they make like a single braid, they make a double braid, and everybody's a little different, depends on brand.
I don't even know if there's anything written on it. They were made by Andrew Davis back when he was working at one of his jobs years ago. He made the lines to run it on his setup, then changed his mind, decided not to run it. And then he's like, oh, here, I have these lines. I'm not going to use them. Put those with that pump or with that box because they go with that box and that RAM. So then I ended up using them and they were the exact match. Fitting size is an exact match for the PSC RAM that's on there.
Mm-hmm.
So like everything already matched up. So I just used them. So I already had them.
Yep.
But he said maybe move to a bigger line.
If you get a little bigger line, and maybe more volume.
Maybe a smaller line. I think because he wanted something about static change. I don't know.
If you go to a smaller line, you're going to essentially put a restriction in, which is going to up your pressure.
Yeah.
But
lower your volume.
You're going to lower your volume.
Seemingly, I think he wanted to lower the pressure up the volume.
Yep.
Because he was saying like pressure's not an issue. It's volume. And he also said that the stock pump is more than capable of supplying the like 4 gallon a minute, like whatever. Yeah. That. There's so much. He spit so much knowledge down. I was just like, what?
Yeah.
So maybe, and just maybe, we'll get him and maybe a couple other steering guys together. And we'll do some kind of episode on steering, both hydraulic, assist, and maybe even how to like improve your factory, like just your standard box.
So let me ask you this, because clearly you don't know shit.
Fact.
So
I ask questions.
So GM pumps. You can take a GM stock power steering pump, and there's a very common mod that you would go in and you drill out the orifice.
Yep.
Is that a thing on Jeep boxes?
Yep.
Okay.
On Jeep pumps.
That's what I meant.
Yeah, you can do the same thing. I asked him about that.
It's not on a GM box. It's on a GM pump.
Yeah, GM pump. That's what you did say pump.
Okay.
He said that doing that can cause premature wear on the pump.
Yeah.
Because of the upgrade. And then he was like, so he didn't think that was a good idea.
I look at that as a Band-Aid.
That came back to him saying that a stock pump in stock form will flow everything that you need to push a ram around. And I don't know how much Scott knows about pumps, but the things that he was saying in the message, I was like, okay, clearly you know far more than I do. So I'm just going to like regurgitate these things that you're telling me to the best of my ability.
Mm-hmm.
And if you guys got questions, just post up on the page and say Scott Turner steering. I don't know. Like I said, it seemed like he knew quite a bit when he told me that.
Seems like we need a steering expert.
We do. And that's why he said he was self-proclaimed. I don't know how you like define a steering expert per se. Like, how do you know that they know? Yeah, like, do you like take the word of somebody that works at PSC, or do you take the word of someone who has done a ton of research on the internet, but maybe doesn't work for a steering company? What are your thoughts on that?
We need a professional.
What? Okay. Who's a professional?
I don't know. I'll work on that.
See, that's why I posted in the group.
Okay.
Now,
I'll get you a steering pro.
Chad Bartley said that he was a steering expert, and Brad Prater said he got all his steering stuff from Chad.
Oh, I was going to say, I thought you were going to say Brad was a steering professional. I'm like, no, all that Brad knows how to do is lie about how many miles are on his mint Cummins. And I hope he got mad there because, yeah.
Triggered.
I'm still angry about that.
I think that it wouldn't be a bad idea to maybe get a couple. I think it'd be fun to get a couple guys together. You know what I'm saying? Like do like a 3-way phone call with like two steering professionals,
or just 3 conversations,
or 3 separate conversations.
There's 3 opinions, and everybody takes from it what they get.
I don't mind that either. So maybe do like 3 steering episodes within the Patreon.
Yep.
Okay, we just need to find one more professional.
I'll work on it for you.
Is that what you're working on right now?
No.
You're gonna find them.
I'm doing other PR stuff.
Are you on TikTok?
No, I am not. I am not on TikTok.
Sorry, I couldn't help it.
TikTok.
I could not help myself. Where are we at on time?
It's time to keep talking.
Well, what do we got in there?
$1.30 in a tank.
Do you want to move into last call?
Let's go, because I'm excited as shit.
What are you doing
with
now?
This beer that we're gonna drink?
Okay, you're excited with. I was like, you drank a Jack and Coke. Like you're not hyped up on Red Bull. Like, what are you excited about? So yeah, okay, the beer.
I'm excited about this beer.
It's because it's got cocaine in it.
Hopefully, I mean, a boy can dream, can he?
All right, let's go grab that beer, and then we will move on to another last call conversation.
How do you know if it's a twist off?
I can see the twist in the cap.
So those little indentations are the.
It indicates, that it's a twisty.
I would be upset if it's twist.
It's a twist.
Like I want to pop it off.
Damn it.
I'll fucking do it fuck anyway.
It's so much harder to pop off a twist than it is to pop off a regular one.
But fucking twists off.
Damn. You thought this was going to be a good beer.
Junk shit.
You can't put cocaine in a twist cap.
All right.
Okay.
We got to give some credit here. This is a listener provided beer.
Who provided it?
Dustin Speakman.
Oh, another shout out.
Mr. Rev
Hey, wait a
Levener,
minute.
banging Toyota driver.
I put that on the TikTok.
I'm going to smash this bottle over his
I
freaking
posted
head.
that video on one of my social media pages.
Yeah.
It's not performing as I had anticipated.
That's because nobody appreciates the harmonious banging of the squirrels.
It literally says in the like opening scene, it's like sing the song of my people.
Yeah, nobody understands it. It's like a fine wine. Only certain people experience it.
Only the cool people.
He dropped us off this at the Trail Riders Run. It is literally, I'm excited about this one. It is called Cocaine.
That's the name of the beer?
Yes.
Oh, I thought that was an ingredient.
No.
It's called cocaine. That is not how you spell cocaine.
No,
What?
but they did what they want. So it is Cocaine, a glacier fresh beer. It is imported.
Spin
It
that around
says
again.
on the label, cocaine.
Huh?
Cocaine.
I don't think that's how you say that. Is it kokanee?
I'm going with it's cocaine.
I mean, I like where you're going with it.
Kokanee sounds not cool. So on the label, it says beer brewed and packaged in Canada by Columbia Brewing Company in Creston, British Columbia. Product of Canada.
Huh. So, how do you say that?
Cocaine.
Hold on. I got the pronunciation is coming. It is not.
Yeah.
I love where you're going, but here.
Well, I don't fucking do what I want. So.
Oh, I have it turned down all the way.
Kokanee.
Kokanee. Kiss my ass. That's another thing Canadians don't do right. It's fucking cocaine.
American pronunciation.
Yeah, that's the Canadian pronunciation.
How do you pronounce
kokanee.
kokanee salmon?
Like cocaine salmon, bro. Is this cocaine crusted salmon or what is this? All right, well, you can say it how you want in Canada. In America, we call it cocaine.
But in Ian land, it's cocaine. Which one's which?
That
Whose
one's
glass
got
is it?
your name on it.
Okay.
Yeah, it's cocaine.
Why is it called kokanee beer?
Because they couldn't spell cocaine right. It's kokanee. My ass.
I'm sorry. I just thought that was funny. Oh, man. Let me see if there's any kind of information as to why it's named that. It just says kokanee beer is brewed at the Columbia Brewery in Creston, British Columbia. Columbia Brewery began brewing kokanee lager in 1959, and it was purchased by the Labatt Brewing Company. In 1974, Labatt Brewing is now part of the new company. Okay. Anheuser-Busch InBev owns this piece. You follow? Your favorite company?
How do you spell wires?
Wires?
Yep.
Like what kind of wires?
Just like electrical wires.
WIRES?
Dude, my phone changed it like 3 times. It was like
What?
wired, weird. And I'm like, I'm freaking spelling wires right, bro. Like, damn it.
I hate when it does that because then like makes you think like, oh, wait a minute. Am I spelling it right? Yeah, I don't know why it's named. Okay, the name, here it is. Okay. So kokanee is also a name for landlocked sockeye salmon. The beer is named after the Kokanee Glacier in the Kootenays region of the Creston of in which Creston is situated. It's Canadian in its things.
First
Canadian
of all, it's called cocaine.
So this cocaine lager is brought to you by Dustin Speakman. And I'm going to try it. It smells good. It smells like a lager. It smells like something InBev would be part of. Have you tried it yet?
InBev would want it called cocaine.
Yeah, because it's sell better. It's light. It's light lager that I would drink. What do you think?
I'm intrigued by the words glacier fresh beer on the bottle.
Hence the reason it's called what it is. The Kokanee Glacier.
Yeah, I mean, I piss off. I get it.
So it's kind of like the beer that we had on our honeymoon.
But what do you call if I say the words glacier fresh beer?
Okay.
What does that sound like to you?
Beer that's made from the water of a glacier.
Yeah, but
Okay.
what kind of beer is that? To me,
cocaine.
A super light like lager.
Oh, really?
Super light.
I mean, it's
lager.
light.
But it has that like
Lagery?
I don't want to say this, but I'm going to say it.
Okay.
Glacier freshness.
Oh, so you feel it. You embrace it.
Just take a big swig of that.
I did.
And you
It's
get this
good and it's light.
It's a light, but it feels fresh, which is odd.
So,
Because I know there's no fucking date on this thing, but I know they didn't make it yesterday. But that tastes like a super clean, watered, light lager. Like the water they used to make that shit is like epic.
is the okay?
The
Not the
finish is like
The
smooth.
finish is non-existent.
Yeah, it just
It doesn't
smooths
leave a
out.
beer. So light lager has that lightness to it, but
It's just very clean flavor.
I can't compare it to anything.
It's a
because
smoother Bud Light.
and it has more flavor.
Yeah.
You know what I
Because
mean?
it's not so bleh.
And like same as like, but it's like a cleaner Busch Light.
It's a cleaner Busch Light.
It's a cleaner lager.
It's almost, I want to say this.
I like it a lot. Where did he get this? Is this just like something we can get here?
I want to say he was on
Because he was saying like we can get him here.
I don't
Well,
know.
he lives like 45 minutes south of here.
Imported by Import Brands Alliance, St. Louis, Missouri. So I
Obviously.
don't know.
This might be something I need to stock in my fridge. Is it heavier than a Michelob Ultra?
Yeah.
You think it's heavier than that?
Yep.
Really?
Yep. But freaking A, it is smooth.
Yeah, it's
Like
no,
it's
really
such a
good.
fresh flavor. That's
Okay. As I've said, like in the last 30 episodes, I'm not a lager guy. As I've also said in the last 30 episodes, anybody that says they're not for this certain type of beer just hasn't tried enough of that type of beer. Am I right?
Yeah.
Because this is a lager, and so is Coors, and so is Busch Latte, and I can drink all those. It's just Bud Light. It's just aged Bud Light. Because Bud Light fresh, I'm good with. Is it? Am I changing?
Did you just, what the fuck did you just say? Like,
you were on your phone. You were
yeah, but
TikToking.
did you just say aged Bush Light?
Aged Bud Light.
That's not a thing. You don't
Yeah, it is.
age Bud Light.
No, that's the thing. Like, other than fresh, it's aged.
This is a bad episode for you, isn't it?
I don't know.
TikTok, aging Bud Light. Bro, your shit's all jacked up today.
You're fucked. You're fucked. You're never gonna make it. Is that all the? Are these the 5 stars you're shipping out, or is this what's left?
I have. Okay, we can get to that. Since
what is this
we're
stack
still
here?
talking. That's the ones that I have left.
This is what's left. Okay,
10 should be 10 more of them.
Okay, so you have 10 left. Well, let me when you
Without saying anything.
If you get
look at the back of them.
It's
the little touches.
It is. It's the details.
I've got 4 that are going out this week in podcast time.
Mm-hmm.
So by the time you hear this, they should already be out
at your door.
I would imagine.
You want to shout those people out?
No, because I don't remember who their all names are. It's like 2 days ago I did this. So they should be there. I mean,
you've already shipped them.
Yeah, unless the USPS is just
so
freaking terrible.
They're either already at your house as we record this, or we're getting close to it. We should be getting some messages pretty quick.
If you hear this,
did you get one shipped to Andrew Duggar, Danger Zone himself?
Yeah, I think he was on that list.
I hope so.
Yeah, there was a couple that I've like completely forgot about.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I'm saying now. If you haven't got one by the time you hear this podcast and you have sent me a review on one of our 37 social media platforms,
right?
Message me again because I feel horrible, but I have forgotten. And I feel like I forgot 1 or 2 of them. But
just keep in mind that we do work full time. Well, Ian works a full time day job. He's in charge of the shipping department. So
the problem with
cut him a smidge bit of slack.
People will kick me a message, like a message with the review.
Yeah,
and I'm like, awesome. Send me your address, and then we'll start talking about something else.
And the address will be way
and
up
then
there.
I'm like, I forgot who, and because like at least with all the website orders, that all goes into one spot. I print all the invoices off, then I just come home and I fill them all and package them and have a nice day.
Right.
The review star stickers are not that way, so it's hard to like, oh, I've got 3 to pass out or send out. So, yeah, I'm going to look into one of these days. I'm going to look into to see if I can put a coupon code for a specific item on our website. I know I can put coupon codes and discount codes that I can give out, but I don't know if I can limit that to a specific item so that I can just tell you, hey, thanks for your review. Here's a discount code. Go put it in on totaloffroadpodcast.com and you'll get a free review sticker. And then it will also drive people to the website. But then it also helps me because I can track that. But I try. I just fail sometimes. I apologize. So if you haven't got one, hit me up and let me know because I would like to actually send those to you.
Did you see this message or this post on the Trail Riders from Matthew John Anderson?
No. Oh, yes. I've seen that on a few other pages because I started out reading it and I was like, go away. Like, we're really going to complain about it. Oh, never mind. I got it now. Yeah, it was pretty good.
I started reading it and I was like, I was like, this is mentioned to the admins. I'm like, what? There's an elderly woman. She's been sending me private messages. I'm like, well, that's got to be hacked by who, though? We don't let anybody in. And I was like, naked pictures. Like, oh, I've seen this.
Yeah, I was like, I've seen this.
There was a bunch of stuff. There's somebody else that I'm supposed to be shouting out on here, and I just cannot for the life of me remember who done did it. And I feel like a dick. You know what I'm saying?
It's because you are a dick.
You're a dick. I need to write this shit down throughout the week. Like when I remember, I'm like, oh, I should write it down. And I think about writing it down, and then I don't.
I email myself a lot.
Really?
Yeah.
That's a good idea.
I send myself an email to my phone and to the
how about
my work email and my personal email, so I see it twice.
Right. How about I shout out Rough Stuff Specialties for putting me on their grid on Instagram. That was kind of cool.
That was kind of neat.
Yeah.
Rough stuff is pretty dope.
Oh, I know what I was going to shout out.
Let's hear it.
One of the things that I was going to do is the nuggets, like, is it something that's just been going on in the background and I didn't know it up until everybody started sending me things of it? Or has it recently grown exponentially?
It's become trendy. Nugs have become trendy.
Why is that a thing? Like, why when I start talking about things, like, I feel like, and I'm not trying to, like, you know, like, say that it's me.
To your own TikTok or anything. See what I did there? I made it funny.
Exactly. And so, like, I'm not trying to, like, say that, like, it's me, but I feel like when something starts doing things, is it just the fact, like, because now I see it, like, now I see it?
Here's how I can tell you to answer, or here's how I can answer that question to make it sense.
Okay.
Make sense for you. Fuck, if I could talk.
Yeah.
Like, I'm hammered. And you've done this before. Everybody's done this.
Everybody's done this.
You go or you start looking for a new vehicle.
Yes. And all of a sudden you see them everywhere.
And they're fucking everywhere.
Yeah,
and
but you never saw one before.
I never have seen a blah, 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 blah. Like, I've never seen the paint code, the wheel color, the wheel, like the tire, the lift,
you
like
find
everything.
It. Yep.
And then you're like, well, I've seen 8 of those and it's only 2:00 on a fucking Tuesday.
When the wife got her Jeep, I hadn't really seen a whole lot of them and still don't see a ton of them. But now when I see them, like now when they're around me, I notice them.
Yeah.
And so I'm wondering, is that the same deal with the whole nug thing? And the reason I ask this is because I probably get on average 1 to 2 messages or posts or tags in something nugget related a day. Like today, I got one that came from Jimmy over at Snail Trail. He sent me a thing, like he sent me a post and it was from Wheel Every Weekend. They posted that whole shower thing where it's like sometimes you have to treat yourself and there's nugs in the shower with a beer.
With sauce. There's a shower beer, shower nugs, and shower nug sauces. Like not just a sauce.
I don't feel like Budweiser is the beer to have A in the shower, B with nugs.
What do you
think? Budweiser? Like
I don't drink
straight up.
I cook with Budweiser. I don't drink Budweiser.
Right.
I mean, I would.
I'm just saying.
Put it in front of me.
I'm just saying. Like, do you feel like that's the beer to have in a shower with a nug? Maybe you're that guy. If you're that guy, hey man, I'm all for you. You're drinking a beer, eating nugs, and saucing in the shower.
I don't think that there's ooh, but you didn't use a good beer. No, I think beer's a beer when you're in a shower.
Yeah, you're right.
And especially when you're pairing it with nugs and like ranch or something, you know, like.
Is it weird that I want to look at that? Is it weird that I look at a Budweiser and I think, oh, it's too heavy, but I look at a barrel-aged stout and I'm like, ooh.
No, it's a different mouthfeel.
It's a different heavy?
Yeah.
Okay. The other
thing,
I'm
the same way. Like I can drink Budweiser, I just don't really prefer it because it's just it's a dark lager taste. Now, if you get into a bourbon barrel aged stout, it's a whole different flavor,
right?
But it still hits you in the gut where it's like, oh gosh, that's heavy.
So the other one I got today was from Lincoln Bray. He sent it to me on Snapchat. I don't know where it came from, but it was 2 dudes like skateboarding through a parking lot and they're throwing nugs like either back and forth, or one dude was throwing a nug. The other guy's like, don't drop it. I don't know. It was either way. It was nug related.
Why don't you just quit fucking with the nugs and eat the damn thing? You know, that's my first.
With your nugs.
It was like, why are you throwing a fucking nug around?
I feel like we need to make a nug video.
We're going to do another review.
Yeah. Video.
Yeah. It's going to be pimp.
Epic.
Fuck it. Let's do it in the buggy.
Oh my God.
That'd be cool.
Sauce. The dash is just lined with sauces. That'd be cool. I wish you didn't have the windshield in it.
Well, let's knock it out. It's all in the name of social media and advertising. Maybe we'll blow up on TikTok.
I doubt it. Maybe. I don't know. It's possible. Anyway. Yeah. So Lincoln sent me that, and it's just the nug thing gets me, like, it catches me off guard. I'm like, like, how come now everything shows up? But I think you're right. I think it's part of that whole, since you're looking, you see it.
Yeah. Yep. No, that's my opinion.
Mm-hmm. Okay. I'm still enjoying my beer here. Oh, did you give a shout out for this?
No.
We didn't?
Fucking didn't even talk about it. We've been sitting here playing with it the whole damn night.
John Baudet, right?
Did you say it right?
Baudet. It could be Baudet. Where'd it come from? No, it came from MD. What is that, Maryland?
Maryland.
Yeah. I think that's Baudet up there.
I don't know.
I'm pretty sure. I've been watching the Cajun Tic Tacs.
Okay.
And if it was down there, it would be Baudet. But since it's up in Maryland, it's Baudet.
God, look at you all cultured up. Canadian TikToks, Canadian glacier, cocaine,
I'm telling you,
beer.
man. This place is a dangerous playground.
So we put out a shout out a couple podcasts back looking for stubs of the axle shaft variety.
Yep.
And we have gotten a whopping response of 1.
Yeah.
Like, I
think there was a couple of people that were going to do it that are going to do it.
Right.
They just hadn't had a chance yet.
Sure.
Not everybody just has a stub just laying around.
Well, maybe they should. I've got one.
John, on the other hand, did.
John's got one.
I've got a
Ian's
couple.
got one. Steve's got him.
Yep. I know that Chris has a lot there at your work.
Yeah, he's not. Anytime I get close to his stash there at the desk, he gets testy.
I know.
I start playing with his like toy snowmobiles and stuff on the desk, and he gets pissed.
I was doing that when I was up there, and he was like, he's like, guess what that's from? Dude, you should see the pile of wrecked parts he has on there and the stories that go with them. We should do a live. Chris, we are requesting a live video to the page. We
could go up there. No, let's go up there and do a live podcast when I sign my contract.
Oh, I like that. That's nice.
Oh, that's cool.
This is weird. You are moving the wrong direction.
Am I?
You should open their Tennessee location.
Maybe I just work remote. I don't know.
Oh, that's not a bad idea. Remote floor wiper cleaner. How does that work exactly?
I don't know.
Drone
sweeper. Watch out, the dumbass is flying his drone with a broom tied to it again. There goes another bottle of paint on the floor.
You're blowing all the instructions off of Terry's desk.
My wife did get pretty mad when I was blowing card parts around the craft room with the drone. Yeah, you can't see that in the camera, but it happens. I don't know. Maybe I'll have to go to like an internet sales position.
Yeah.
I don't. It's not my call.
You think you could sell something?
I think I could.
Yeah.
Sold you on cocaine beer tonight.
Cocaine-y.
Yep.
Cocaine-y beer.
You're welcome.
Uh-huh.
I'm just going to keep talking like I'm employed there. And
I like it.
Maybe one day I'll get a paycheck.
You know what? There's a thing about that. You know, you do things in anticipation and they will happen.
Yep.
Right.
So
thank you, John. Back to this. Thank you, John, for the stub.
Yeah.
We'll appreciate it.
I'm going to trim it up on the old fancy chop saw.
And thank you for writing on the side of it what it is. Dana 44 27 spline.
Yep.
So now we know. And we're going to put write that on the side here.
I'm going to stamp them with, I got a steel stamp.
Yeah. You going to put the 27 spline on?
Yep. I'm going to put 27 on the spline end because then I can just look at like that 14 bolts like a 30. I'm going to stamp the number of splines on the end and the axle on the other end.
I like that.
And I swear to God, I want a line of them on the table.
Yeah. So if you guys got spare stubs with spline and at least 2 inches, at least 2 inches of shaft above the spline, just cut that sucker, or don't even cut it. If you got just 2 inches, just throw her in a box and shoot us a message. We'll get you a shipping address and you can get her over to us.
Yes.
And you can be cool. Like John.
I need a Rockwell shaft.
Yep.
I need all.
Seemingly,
I need a Dana
Max
60
should
shaft.
have some of those.
I know people have them.
Inners and outers. If you got inners and outers, just let us we'll take it. So either way, I've got some spares at the house that I will look through and see what roughed up ones I have.
Yeah.
We'll go that route.
We need some decorations for the table.
Decorations.
That's all I got.
That's all you got for that? Going forward, I think I will go way low key. And do you want to do another giveaway?
Sure.
All right, we'll do it next week because I don't have it weighed yet, and I don't want to start a giveaway and not have any kind of reason.
Okay.
So we'll go that route. And yeah. Hey, here's something. If you're listening to this podcast and you own a business or you own an entity, a brand, anything like that, and you've got some swag that you want to include into some of these giveaways, give us a shout. We'll give you a shipping address. Send it to us. We'll throw it here on the giveaway table. And when we do little giveaway stuff, we will include it in there. So that'll get you a shout out on the podcast. It'll get you some swag. It'll get you a picture on the page. Or not swag, but it'll get your swag in the hands of other people. Just another way for you to kind of grow your brand as we grow ours.
Yep.
What do you think of that?
I like free stuff and I love giving it away.
You are not wrong. Yeah. And so anything you guys ship to us, and like some of the stuff that people have sent us for our own personal use has made its way over to the giveaway table too, because as much as we like it,
I like giving stuff away.
And we have a way to get some more of it.
Yeah.
We could get a hold of those people, whereas other people may not. So we really appreciate you guys sending us stuff, and we love to give it away. Yep. We want to give more stuff away. What else can you guys send us?
Yeah.
Throw it in the giveaways.
Give it away.
I'm not trying to get free shit from you, but if I can give it to somebody else, I'm trying to get free shit from you.
We might do a giveaway for Christmas too.
Just a rando.
Yeah, I know
extra.
we had talked about doing, we're not talked about. We are doing our Patreon quarterly giveaway for before Christmas, but I think we might be able to do like a Christmas giveaway.
Another thing,
I'm gonna start working on something special.
I need a favor from all of you listening to this right now.
Let's hear it,
because you've made it this far. I need a favor. If you are not subscribed to the Total Off-Road Podcast YouTube channel, just head over to YouTube real quick, type in Total Off-Road Podcast, and just hit the sub button, smash the bell. That'll help the algorithms. I'm only going to send a notification to you once a week anyway. So it's not like I'm going to intrude on your life. But if you're not subbed up already to the YouTube, go do that. And I know you're not, because the YouTube numbers don't even match what's in the Trail Riders page. And the Trail Riders page does not match the daily the downloads. So I know there are people that are missing.
Click the button. Smash that bell.
Smash it.
I don't know why I get so much joy out of saying that all the time, but I heard a guy say it on one of his YouTube channels, and I was like, fuck, that's catchy. I liked it.
It's pretty common on the YouTubes. Smash the bell.
I've got a stack of 5-star Total Off-Road Podcast review stickers.
Empty them out so I go spend more of my hard-earned cash.
Let's, all you got to do is
more.
Review it, take a picture, send it to me. I send you a free sticker.
I have a sticker in mind that I want to get made. If you've made it this far in the podcast, it means you're a cool guy, cool gal, cool whatever.
Alien. Never know.
A cool listener. I have a sticker that I want to get made. I need you to tell me if I should make it. It's going to be in black and white in a certain font, and it's going to say Nug Life. Okay? If you want one, shoot me a message.
You're just going to have to get those made.
I'm going to get made.
When are you going to made? Are we going to put them on the website?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Okay.
I'll probably do something like 50 of them or something.
Do it.
Yep. Then I'll order some more of those too.
Yep.
And then I'll order some more something else. Other things.
Telling you, bro. We got plans for merch.
Yeah. We want merchity merch. Because all the merch money goes into more merch. Are we ever going to make any money off this podcast? Like you and I?
No.
Okay.
Just pretty well giving that up.
Are we still recording?
Yeah. Are people still listening? That's a fun question. We can sit here and talk to each other all night.
All day.
But is somebody like, oh, we're done. Yeah, I'm fucking at work. I've been sitting in the parking lot for 20 minutes. My boss is looking out the window like, why in the fuck is this guy looking at me or sitting in his car just going, what the? No, he's waving his hands. Oh, God, he's just drinking a beer while he's eating a nugget. Sorry, we just got you fired. But at least you're not hungry.
Yeah, you're not hungry. No, you probably are hungry. If I want a fucking nug and I want a beer. And I gotta go to work.
It is 6:30 in the morning, and all I want is a cocaine beer and a fucking chicken nugget in the shower.
I almost feel bad. Almost.
I don't.
You don't feel bad?
Nope.
Happy to bring you pleasure. Displeasure.
Because while they're having displeasure, I'm having displeasure because I could be asleep right now. Yeah. But instead, we are here talking about beer and nugs.
Let me tell you a secret.
And I don't have any nugs either.
As you're listening to this, if you're one of the first people to listen to it and you're in the morning, I'm probably asleep.
Yeah.
Depending on where you live. Especially if you live east of here, I'm definitely asleep. Yeah. I may not have been asleep when you were asleep, but I'm definitely asleep while you're listening to this. Yeah.
Catch up on them Z's.
I did this morning. I got 11 hours of sleep last night.
God, that'd be nice.
It was. I got 4 the night before.
Yeah.
But
it all happened just now. All right. That's all I got for this week.
We getting out of here?
Yep.
Are you sure? Like, I'm going to start this whole, like, get out of here process and then you're going to find, like, a new topic.
Nope.
Are you sure?
I'm done.
I feel like I didn't, yet again, have not shouted out the people that deserve shout outs. Is that bad?
No.
Okay.
Fuck them all.
If you listen to this and you're on the Tic Tacs, thanks.
Holy crap.
I'm telling you, that's where we're getting our
I'm going
followers.
to
That's where
punch
we're
you
getting
in
our
the
listeners.
face if this takes longer than 15 seconds, but we needed to give our update on what it's at now.
Oh, I'm sorry. I forgot about that.
14, 13,
It's going to take longer.
12, 11, 10,
I'll turn my volume back on.
9.
We're not going to get an update.
8, 7. Lucky number 7. 6, 5, 4.
We're not going to make it.
Yeah, it's because you're TikToking instead of looking it up.
I'm trying to switch accounts.
3.
Okay, what do you want?
2.
Oh, we're at 10,000 followers.
How many views on the video?
757,000.
Boom. All right, now shut up. You can find us on totaloffroadpodcast.com. There's a link on there. Jesus. There's a page on there of links to Patreon, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, everything. There is a partners page on there with all of our partners, which you can direct link to their websites. So check them out, support them because they help support us and keep this thing going. Like I said, get in the Patreon $10 tier gets you entered into the $500 minimum giveaway. $1 unlocks all the content. So literally $1, you can have all the content. Or for $9 more, you could probably take home something pimp.
True story.
Don't follow Steve on TikTok because his head will not fit out of my front door. But we are on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube.
All of the platforms.
Everything.
I'm not on Twitch. I am on
Twitter.
LinkedIn.
I'm on LinkedIn now.
You are?
Yeah.
Well, so is Total Offroad Podcast.
Is it?
Yep.
Not as a podcast, as like me personally,
Yeah,
but like
we're on there as a podcast.
nice.
I do not do much on like LinkedIn. I don't understand LinkedIn yet.
I don't either, but I'm on it. So
Like from a business standpoint, I don't quite get it. And I don't feel like it's populated yet with resources that are going to be good for you guys, that are going to be advantageous for you.
I just need to update my current employer on there. Hint, hint, wink, wink, nudge, nudge, jiggle, jiggle.
Sweep, sweep.
But yeah, sweep, mother trucker. That's all I got.
Okay. Thanks for joining us again for another episode of the Total Offer Podcast, and we'll catch you on the trail.